Hello and welcome to my workshop. I'm delighted that you can join me, if not in person, then virtually. I've been teaching violin making for, close on 40 years now, and it has been a wonderful experience.
I wanted to play the violin. This is the next best thing. Just making one. So.
In many ways, Brian is a very unique person to teach how to make instrument. There might be very many good luthier who knows how to make violin, but I don't think there are many luthier who can teach how can make a violin that easily and systematically. And Brian is one of those few talented instructor who can teach you how to make a violin.
So Brian, when I saw the tutorial, I was glued and I couldn't stop watching it because there was something about it. There was the clarity of your talking, and then there was the simplicity of watching what you were doing. And for some reason, that just grabbed me, and I thought, I'm not a person who's good at craft. I'm not a person who mentally understands directions, and I want to take the course.
I love this class. This is a great class, and we're learning a lot, and it's very satisfying, very emotionally satisfying to do the carving and to see something take form under our hands.
Brian, I have a friend who's interested in the course. He's retired, and so I need to ask you some questions so I can let him know. So the first is, does he have to have woodwork experience?
At first I was a little hesitant. I've never done any kind of woodworking. I was an oboe player, and so I did my little reeds from time to time, but never ever on the scale of what I've been doing here. Totally doable. You just need to follow Brian's directions. He's been doing this for a long time, and he has a really good sense of what will keep you out of trouble. And then it's like a dance. You get into the flow of working with the tools and the wood, and it speaks to you after a while in terms of how best to treat it. Each piece of wood is going to be a little different, and I've come to know exactly which angles I need to carve and which direction in order to not chunk the wood and to have it flow. It works with me if I work with it.
What happens if he gets in a position where he's struggling with something and making the violin? Can he get help?
Yes, he can get help. There are several options available. The one that I would suggest first would be to go to the website, to the students page, and there is a forum. In the forum, there are two categories. One is work in progress, and the other one are tools for sale. An ideal opportunity for students to either buy tools or to sell ones they've already finished with. Students are welcome to post their work and to ask questions, and I will certainly answer those questions. Not only will it benefit them, but all the other students as well. So included in the course are 2 free Zoom sessions. Students are welcome to add more and book these online. And that would be one way of getting some immediate help if a student gets stuck. Then another option would be for the student to come in person into my workshop. They can either come for an hour, a couple hours, or they might choose to do the 2-day intensive. And that way they will really get a grasp and some help with the specific job they are focusing.
And so what Brian did is he was very graceful, and he worked with me so that what I did is I would do some carving, and then I would take some pictures of it, and I would send him over the internet. And I remember when I was doing the contour lines on the back and the front, I think I was about 3 times that I sent pictures to him before he said I got it right. So that was very, very helpful. And So that's what I'm excited about the course for, is that you don't have to be there all the time. Is that you can work at home, you can set up a simple little shop, you don't need a lot of things. And Brian was telling me about the course. He was telling me the number of videos that he was making, and it really is a major project.
Oh, and here I am. I mean, I'm just working on my kitchen table, a kitchen/dining room table. I make a mess, I clean it up, or I don't. I eat around it or somewhere else. But this way, it allows me, when I'm just walking by, to stop for a few minutes and work on it, and then carry on with whatever else I'm doing, and then come back.
So most of my students, they really love carving the wood, they love thumb planing it, and they love scraping it. And those jobs are really enjoyed. It's something very meditative and very relaxing. But however, there are one or two jobs that are a little bit trickier, and that requires some experience. And one of those is joining the pieces, the center joints, that's planing them. That requires quite a bit of experience, and I've actually landed up doing those jobs for them.
I have a friend in France, and I'm wondering if she may be interested in taking the course, and would she be able to understand your English?
I've tried to make the course as user-friendly as possible, so it is available in several languages. There are chapters, so one can go straight to a particular part that one is working on. Then below the course there are several tabs. The first one is an overview that breaks down the steps involved, section notes that can be printed and taken to your workshop, measurements, and tools and materials.
Will he have any opportunities to meet the students in person?
Some of my students have never done anything before with their hands, and it's been quite remarkable how well they've picked up the skills and produced some lovely sounding instruments. This course is specifically designed for hobbyists, those that don't necessarily want to become a violin maker, but just would love to make a one-off violin, either for themselves, maybe for a grandchild or a friend, or just for the joy of doing something different and with their hands. There are certain jobs that do require quite a lot of skill and experience. One of them is bending the sides or the ribs, and it is really tricky because you don't want to burn them and you don't want to crack them. So what I've done for most of my previous students, I've actually bent and made the ribs for them. And it's not such a big deal because they do everything else. They do the carving, they do the scroll, they do just about everything, but at least they've got a really good foundation. The ribs, the outline of the violin is taken from the ribs, so if you get that right, that's a really good starting point. So if anyone is interested, I'm more than happy to make the ribs for them.
Well, I know that you made the course for hobbyists. Therefore, do they have to make a mold and make templates?
To make a mold and the templates seem like a lot of extra work, so these ready-made items will be mailed to students, and it is included in the enrollment fee.
So the journey is the reward and the enjoyment of it. And learning a new skill, it's very meditative when you get into the process of just carving and sort of listening to the wood, listening to the silence around you. I love it.